go.
Magic.
Let's go. We are
Let's
talking.
go.
What's up, boys and girls and gang and everybody else? Welcome
And
back to the
days.
Sinestra Core. He, she, them, they, and days.
Body,
Girls,
body.
gays, and days. Welcome back to the Sinestra Core. We are talking about many a thing today, starting with The Bear Season 3, A Quiet Place, Day 1, and Kinds of Kindness. Let's get right
And
into
people's
it.
dog shit opinions about some of these projects. But we'll get to that. We'll get
no,
to that.
valid-
We'll get to
valid
that. We'll get to
opinion.
We're
that.
allowed to disagree, I think.
We'll get
But
to that.
before we get into Kinds of Kindness, it's time for us boys to do what we do best, and that is cook. Let's talk about The Bear Season 3, one of the greatest shows on TV, if not the greatest show on TV right now. Shout out everybody involved. My goat, Jeremy Allen White, my psychotic goat. Shout out John Bernthal, my
I wanna
other
start off-
psychotic
I
goat.
want to start off by
Shout
saying
out
that
Ebon Moss, Baccarat, my goat.
Eben.
Everybody, Eben, my
I
fault.
was gonna start naming
cannot
the fucking
pronounce
crafts
English.
people.
I was gonna say, all the directors.
Hey,
Of
they're
course,
important too.
Thor, yeah,
True.
they are the most important. I was gonna say, I'm really taken aback by people's kind of like negative reactions to season 3.
They're
I
not
don't
seeing the
understand.
vision.
I don't understand the complaints.
Mhm.
I think
Losers.
it's just as great as the previous 2 seasons, but that's
Mm.
just
I agree. You know, season 1, every show is the same way. Season 1 is the ground laying season. It shows you, hey, this is what we got going on. This is the backstory. But
Yeah.
going into season 2 and 3, it did so much better to expound on everything we saw in season 1. Like what happened with Mikey, what was his situation? Looking at the backstory between the Berzado family, it was so good and well written, well directed, well acted. There's no way that this show gets worse.
Mhm.
You know, like how each show that we've talked about before, like they hit like a certain season and then they have a kind of like a slump. They kind of get plateaued, then they start to decline. There's no way this show hits that. That's just my opinion. But AZ, what you got? What you thinking on? What are your thoughts on The Bear?
A lot of people, from what I've seen just online, a bit of the discourse has been people saying that a lot of it just feels like season 2 replays. They think that it's kind of flashback heavy, just especially like in the very beginning, you know.
I love that first episode.
I'm
That shit
gonna
was
be
crazy.
honest. I do see where they're coming from, because at first I thought the same thing, but then I actually, I felt what its intended purpose was, which was to, not only remind us of the events of last season, but remind us of how far these characters have come, where they're at with this current situation with the restaurant and everything, how they're trying to grow, how they're trying to endure in this new environment, new situation. And I thought that was very refreshing. It was a lot better than just like, a previously on segment, because the way
it's basically them catching you up to speed to what's going on.
Yeah.
In an artistic and tasteful manner, in a beautiful kind of artistic way.
And I also noticed they kind of settle things into, like, they call it The Bear Chapter 3, kind of. I believe it's Chapter 3 or Act 3. I'm not really sure, but it has like this kind of like
Part
readable. It has this sort of like, I don't know if it's like theater kind of presentation that I'm thinking of, but it feels very much like a play, like it's structured in 3 acts or like multiple acts. You kind of feel like every single one is telling a compact story of like an actual chapter.
It's not even just theater. Think of it in terms of a restaurant. When you have different courses, you have like a 5-course meal, an 8-course meal. This is the different courses. Season 1 is course 1. That's why it's called part 1. Season 2 is course 2, and so on and so forth. So
I saw some people saying that it's that the Bear's getting the Ted Lasso treatment, in that it's like it got really popular. First season everybody loved, and then after that people were like, oh, it fell off because they were so over it, because they felt like it was like overhyped and over talked about. It won everything, and I feel like people, because the first 2 seasons were so excellent, people feel like season 3 is a downgrade. Because why? So
Because
I
they're
don't know.
ungrateful.
I think in a show, it's going to be weird when I say this, but I think season 3 is a lot more personal than the first 2 seasons. And I know season 1 and season 2 are incredibly personal stories, but what I mean by that is I really like, for example, like Sydney's kind of dilemma. I love that. I love what's his sister's name?
Sugar.
Sugar. I really like what they did with her and kind of her anxiety of like being a mother and kind of obviously the trauma that comes with that and all the familial trauma that they have. And I really like how they took time to explore characters that they hadn't explored before, right? The I forget her name, but she plays the Hispanic lady in the show.
Trish, I think. Is it
Tina, bro.
Like that episode 6.
That
was
yes.
Probably one of the best. My
That's
favorite.
the
I
best
think that's my
episode.
favorite.
the Ayo
Not-
Debiri episode that she directed.
Mhm.
I thought that episode was so beautiful.
She
and so
directed that?
moving. Yeah.
Oh, I don't
Really?
pay
You
attention.
can tell.
That's fucking sick.
She cooked.
Good.
And
That's
look,
good
and
as
maybe
fuck.
and maybe it's because I'm the son of immigrants, and and so it's like, and I really relate to that. But I thought like those nuances and kind of like those us straying away from Carmi and the bear as a whole, and kind of taking these little detours and kind of catching up on her past while having it tie up, lead up to where she is now. I just thought it was handled so beautifully, and I think it's okay for a show like The Bear to take these little detours, to take an episode, a season that's a lot more thoughtful, that's a lot more personal, it's probably a lot lower stakes than the first 2 seasons, because then it feels like it gets too repetitive, right? Then it feels like we got through the 5 seasons of the show too quickly, right? I feel like when it takes its time like this, I feel like it gives us the show some time and some space to breathe. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I think it's still one of the best shows on TV, and I think this season was amazing.
I agree. Let's talk to our other resident restaurateur, our other resident restaurant worker, Gerardo, bro. Let's connect right now, real quick. Both of us we work in a restaurant. I'm sure everyone here has some experience with restaurants in some way, shape, or form. But right now, Gerardo and I currently work in the restaurant industry.
Active service,
active duty.
members.
Active
Thank
shooter.
you for your service.
Wow,
Thank you for your
okay.
Yeah,
service.
no stolen valor in this bitch.
Active
I'm
shooter.
retired. Dishonorable discharge.
Yeah, I'm
Very
I'm a
dishonorable for
I'm
multiple.
a veteran.
No, yeah, AZ. Gerardo and I are actively working in the restaurant right now, and we've seen a lot of things that are very reminiscent of our time in
A lot of
our
parallels.
restaurants. Yeah, a lot of parallels. So, Gerardo, kind of expand on that real quick.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say it's not as realistic as I'd like it to be. I was telling my girlfriend while
Really?
we're watching it together, I was like, "Where's the 17-year-old host that the cooks are hitting on? Where, where are all the people smoking and vaping in the freezer and the coolers? What's going on? We need some more realism." But like Luis was saying, I love the fact that the show's taking time to focus on, and not that they haven't done this already, but that they're still focusing on the side characters, you'd call them, right? Because I think they offer something very important, and I think they have like great stories to tell, and I love that. In terms of the restaurant, I don't know. I've never worked in fine dining. Work at a fuck ass Italian place that won't be named.
But it rhymes with
Olive Garden. Olive Garden.
Boobity. It rhymes with
Yeah,
boobity.
fuck Olive Garden.
Duda
Can
de
sponsor
Detto.
us.
Duda de Detto. That's right.
Got fired. But yeah, man, it's this show. I think I see where people come from. They're like, oh, it's plateaued, but I don't see that as a bad thing. We're getting the same amount of quality. Like it's not like it dipped. It didn't get worse. It's just like the same amount, and people are like, oh, it should get better, or oh, there's not enough happening. Like, oh, there's stuff happening. The story is still going. Like I don't see why people are complaining about this. I think it's a great season. I think everybody's acting their fucking ass off. It's great.
For sure. I also want to hit on that.
Go ahead.
Why would a critique of the Bear that it's just one thing I don't understand. Like for newer viewers, right? If they just started season 1, they're like not a whole lot like really happens in the show. You know, they're used to like bigger adventures or bigger things. That's fine. That's them. But if you've watched both seasons and you're like, oh, there's not a lot happening. My brother in Christ, you watched several episodes of them trying to figure out how to get together the necessary equipment to pass a fire suppression system.
Yeah, like what
You watched that. You watched the man go to the
burn.
store and get caught. You watched a man talk to his wife's new man. You watched boring shit. You watched a dude go to the fucking gas station and run into his ex. Like, if I boil down everything to its essential elements, The Bear is a show where simultaneously everything and nothing happens because it makes you feel for the most minute moments, and that's what the real theme of, that's what I feel like a real core theme of the show is, you know.
That's
focusing
why.
on
That's why I feel
little
like
things and like the little moments, and I feel like with the way that the Bear does that by showing these little nonchalant everyday aspects of life is really what it's hoping to hit on.
That's why I feel like this season I think is so jarring for people, and that's why whenever I say it feels like a lot more thoughtful, I think that's true. That's the case, right? Like we were so used to these kind of high octane, high paced, high energy 2 seasons where everything was just kind of anxiety inducing, everything's hitting the fan. And although this season still has some of that, still has a lot of Carmi being a fucking asshole, you know, I think it does also take its time, and it's a lot more just, you know, it's like the calm before the storm, so to say, right? Like next season, we're probably going to get the review that the critic left, right? Because we didn't see that at this season. We'll probably get the review and the fallout of said review, whether it's positive or negative, and then you know, with Carmen's relationship with his uncle, who's also his business partner, and whether Sid decides to leave the Bear or not. Like we'll get the fallout of that. I feel like this was a nice table, you know, no pun intended, a nice table setter for what's to come in season 4, in which the stakes will probably be a lot higher. And I use this as a what seems like a scapegoat a lot of times, but it's like it's true. Long form storytelling, TV specifically, is so unique in that it's hard to. The showrunners and the writers have a plan long term for what they want to do with these. They know how this show's going to end. They know what season 4 is going to be. They know what season 5 is going to be. Right. And so it's about trusting the process and letting them tell the story that they want to tell, how they want to tell it. And if you're a fan and you like it, and then enjoy it, enjoy the things that it has, the things that it does for you, the positives that it brings, and then just let it wash over you. And then, you know, as when it ends, you could be like, damn, they really flubbed that, or they didn't land that, or it was worth the wait. I'm glad we got season 3 because it all paid off in season 4 and season 5 and season 6, and it was that much more worth it. So I don't know. I thought I love the kind of the beauty and the, you know, the much slower pace and the kind of like it felt kind of like nostalgic, and people about like reminiscing about the past and, you know, things ending and things coming to a close, you know. And I thought that was kind of like a very beautiful theme throughout this season of television, and I really enjoyed it.
Speaking
and like
of,
Gerardo said, the acting was just phenomenal.
Agreed, 100%. Speaking of you know, reminiscing on the past of this this series, let's go ahead and give a rating of the show thus far. Let's get a rating for obviously season 3. We've all seen it, but let's do a rating of the overall show thus far. I know we got more seasons of Bear to come up. Who knows? They're probably going to 5, 6, 7 seasons. Who knows?
Okay, 10 seasons.
Fuck it, yeah. Give me some supernatural shit. Dude,
Yeah, give me some.
No,
Get
I don't.
Kripke on this bitch.
Jeremy Allen White would not want that. He literally was like, "Shameless was awesome, but that many seasons of television fucking sucked." And
Let's
he
do
felt
like a
kind
solid-
of.
And not only that, the story suffered.
You can
so
only
much
go
that they
so
couldn't
far.
let go.
Exactly.
But let's
And he felt trapped creatively as an actor, as an artist, because of it.
let's rate seasons 1 through 3. This story thus far. Luis, what's your rating?
I'll give it like a 9. I think it's almost like a damn near perfect show. I think it hits. I think the highs are very high. The very few lows, if any. I think, you know, everything about it is beautiful, beautifully shot, beautifully lit, beautifully directed and written and acted. And I care about every single one of these characters, and every new character they except for Jamie Lee Curtis, fuck her, and every new character that they introduce, every new character that they introduce, I love and I'm invested in, and I care about their relationships. And it's just, it's beautiful storytelling. I just think they really hit it on the head, and I think I really like them exploring kind of not the restaurant business. I know that's something that we probably see a lot, but kind of like them focusing on the people and the relationships amongst themselves. I think it's such a wonderful thing to focus on. And I love trauma, and I love shit that focuses on trauma and generational trauma. So I'm here for it. Beautiful show. It's perfect. It's almost perfect. It's a 9. The first 3 seasons.
Real. So we got 9 from Luis. Hey Z, what you got, bro?
Okay, there we go. I decided to mute. I'm also going to give it a 9. I would say honestly a 9.5. Purely because cooking is something that's like just really near and dear to me in my childhood and just like throughout my life. And I really enjoy cooking. And just about every single time that I watch this show, I feel the need to get up off my ass and just go to the kitchen. And like I do, like almost every time. I watched like the entire season. I was like, all right. I fucking just went around and I made breaded pork chops the other day with like my own breading and shit. I don't know where that came from. I've never made that in my life. But this show just does something to me that just motivates me to feel something similar to that. And being, you know, from that environment where I've worked in a restaurant before, you know, when I worked in a bar and everything, it was just real hectic nights, and it sucked a lot. And that whole speech that his brother gives is just, he's like, you know, I like this place, but also fuck it at the same time. I hate what it does this. I love what it does that. And I was like, that's
But I
exactly
love the people.
It was so fucking
I
real.
love the people. Exactly. And that's that exact encapsulation of my time in food service. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
fucking perfect. So I got to give this a 9.5.
Yeah.
It's so well made and so well put together. Also, Ayo Edebiri, get you a Emmy, Oscar, Grammy,
She won an
all
Emmy
the
already.
awards.
She won an Emmy.
We'll
for
get her
season
Give her
two.
another one, goddamn it. Give her all
She
of them.
probably will.
Kicking
AZ
Matt
said-
Groening's door. The Simpsons doesn't need that many Emmys. That shit's trash.
AZ
She's
said,
amazing.
Ayo Edebiri hit my line. That's what he's trying to say.
¿Por qué no los dos?
I love her. I love her come up. I think she's amazing. I think there's very few people who I think are incredibly well deserved of like blowing up like she did, especially in Hollywood. We talk about like, you know, mediocrity all the time and like nepotism and all that
babies.
stuff, nepo babies.
Jamie Lee
But-
Curtis.
You know, but I think Ayo Edebiri's come up is amazing, and I think it's so well deserved. She's amazing. Everybody loves her. She's super talented, super charming, beautiful, funny. She's like awesome. So props
She
to her.
came up
Single-handedly,
off that Backstage app. Real shout out Backstage, the app.
Let me say, Gerardo.
I was gonna say she single-handedly promotes the shows when it's about to come out because
Mhm.
with their fucking TikToks, I love it so
Mhm.
goddamn
Just
much.
like me, on God.
What's your rating, Hera?
Yeah, Gerardo, what's your rating, bro?
I mean, I can't really find a flaw. Like this might be a 10 out of 10 for me. It can go lower, obviously, if they drop in quality, but as of right now, it's perfect. Like you said, the highs are highs. I don't know. I can't remember any lows, so why the fuck would I not rate it a 10? The acting is superb. The directing is great. The writing is incredible. I love everyone in the show. I love the side characters. Just it's great, man. I can't find a flaw in this. I don't want to find a flaw in this. I really hope that they keep it up. Just perfect. It's the perfect show.
Wait. I'm gonna change mine.
I agree.
Yeah, he just made a compelling point. I'm gonna change mine to a 10. Mine's actually a 10. I really thought about it. I was like, why a 0.5? That's a weird.
I gave it a 9.
It's
only
gotta be a
because
10.
Not enough John Bernthal, too much Jamie Lee Curtis. So for that, I have to deduct.
But
I
the
have to
reason
deduct
the
point.
reason Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't deduct from my rating is because she's a piece of shit and she's annoying as fuck the whole time. And I think that's
Yes.
perfect. You
No,
cast her
she's
in
not
just the right
acting.
spot.
Therefore, deduct. The point. She's not acting. You gotta. I gotta.
Nah,
deduct
fair,
the
that's
point.
I agree. I agree. Also, you know, my rating was gonna be a 10, but then I saw Jamie Lee Curtis pop up, and I was like, this show is good.
I saw John Cena that balanced out.
Oh my
Man,
god, yeah, no
I
one
forgot
mentioned that.
about
That-
I
Fuck.
forgot
that
about
fucked
that.
me
So
up.
good.
I was
John
like,
Cena
the
showed up,
facts
and I was like, you know what?
as-
Shout out all the facts. Shout out
Yeah.
the real
Facts
faction.
are amazing, bro.
Shout out the real
Also,
faction.
yeah, can I just mention? I know that people are like, "Oh, it's more of a dramedy than anything should be nominated." I was like, the show really encapsulates like what it's like working in a restaurant. Is like, yeah, it's really serious,
Yes.
but also, shit's funny, man. There's funny
Mhm.
fucking people you work with. It's
fuck.
a
Yeah.
funny ass profession. Yeah, I think it is a comedy. I don't think
I
that's
agree.
something bad.
I don't think it's. I don't.
People-
I don't
people are
think
like, no,
it's
it's a
I don't think
drama.
It's committing.
People
I
can
don't
be
think it's committing.
something can be comedic and can hit home and can be beautiful
Right.
at the same time. It
Exactly.
doesn't. It's not either
There's
or.
nuance.
I
I
think
agree.
I think it's
I don't
great.
think it's committing. I don't think it's committing category fraud at the Emmys at all. I think.
yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
it's really funny. It makes me laugh, and I don't think a comedy has to be 5 jokes. You know, jokes a mile a minute. I think
Mhm.
if
Yeah,
it makes you
agreed.
laugh, if it's comedic, You
If
know,
it makes you cry, that's good too.
yeah, exactly. Who gives fuck y'all?
It
Give it all the
it's
Emmys.
just,
suck
it
my
just has
dick.
depth. There's no problem with that.
Exactly, like
So,
humans.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
like
same
the
thing
restaurant
as,
industry.
Yeah.
Same thing as the rest of y'all, man. I got it at the 9.5, almost 10. Jamie Lee Curtis brought it back down, but John Cena brought it back up. But it's one of the, if it's not the best show on TV right now, it's definitely up there. With
It's
the
not.
rest.
That title's held by
House of the Dragon.
by
That's
House of the
Dragon.
Dragon.
I still haven't
I
seen.
gotta be honest. That shit's
I'll
fucking
watch
gas.
it. I'll binge 2 seasons and I'll see if I agree.
There you
It's
go. Yeah.
so goddamn good.
Binge 2
Okay,
seasons.
Game of
I'm,
Just
Thrones.
so
I'm
you can
excited.
disagree.
You guys have been glazing the fuck out of it. If it's bad, I'm going to
Season
the
2 is better than
Hold on,
season
hold
1.
on, hold
Season
on,
2 is
hold on.
better.
Oh yeah,
Second
and it's
half
only
of
like
season 1 is
it's
better.
only like 3 episodes in.
Hold on,
It's
hold
already
on,
good.
hold on.
Okay, go
Hold on.
hype.
Sorry.
Hold on. Shh. I'm about to make this into a very a quiet place, and we're talking about A Quiet Place Day 1. Ah, yeah,
He
boy.
muted our mics.
I turned into
listeners.
A Quiet Place. Turned into A Quiet Place. We're talking about Quiet Place Day 1.
Somebody boo this nigga.
The prequel.
Boo.
Someone mute Matt.
Yeah. Can we mute you, bitch?
I mute myself. But first, let's talk about the prequel to A Quiet Place 1 and 2. The first and second movie, well, the first movie really featured John Krasinski, Emily Blunt. I forgot the kids' names. And then the
Thing
second
1 and
movie was
2.
Emily Blunt and my African king, Jimon Honsu.
Hey,
My
the
goat.
goat.
My goat. Jimon Honsu.
Assalamualaikum. Mashallah.
But this one was a bit of a step back in time, leading up to the first day when
It
the
was a
world
prequel.
went quiet.
Yeah.
It was a prequel, yeah. So this movie kind of detailed the first day when those creature things attacked Earth. I don't even know what to call them. The motherfuckers weird as
They're
hell.
called
It's
Death
crazy.
Angels, I think.
Yeah.
I saw something
Yeah,
about
that
it.
They're
sounds
called
stupid.
That's the
Yeah,
best.
probably.
That's the best name they
That
came
sounds
up
fucking
with.
dumb. Yeah,
John
probably
Yeah,
Krasinski,
it's really
bro.
fucking
John
dumb. Like,
Krasinski is the
That's a
architect of
stupid-ass
this,
fucking
of this
name.
It
world.
doesn't
What
even seem like in universe like somebody would arrive at that conclusion. Like, is it because they fall from the sky? Is that supposed to be it?
Is it
That's
because
a
John
dumbass
Krasinski is a
name.
fucking idiot?
because just
Yeah,
John
that's lame.
Krasinski, bro.
He could have called them some cool shit like the echolocators or some.
That's
some
gay.
shit.
That's
That
dumb.
was
Sorry,
I don't
that's
know.
dumb.
It's
That's
better
worse.
than Death Angels. I don't give a fuck. That shit better than that lame ass name.
Auditory
Anyways,
angels.
Yeah,
Did
the vocalizer, something like that. I don't
The
know.
Sono Killers.
The Sono the Sonar Murderers.
I was about to say the Sonics, but then I was like,
So
that's
the
just gonna make
Sonar,
people-
the
that's just gonna be
Sonarators.
The Sonar
Sonarators.
Killers.
This is a
That-
conversation
that-
that he had with
that-
Emily Blunt, and she was like,
Drop
"Just
your,
fucking name them Death
She's like,
Angels."
whatever you want, babe.
Drop your suggestions for the name of these demonic beings in our comments. But yeah, the quote unquote sequel or prequel or whatever you want to call it does a good job showing the beginning of the end of Earth with these monsters or aliens or whatever dropping in, using their acute sense of hearing to basically massacre everybody. And dumb motherfuckers
Could've been
over
me.
here
I would've
making
handled it.
noise. That's what I'm saying. I've been
Very important. I think very important to mention before we move on is that the director Michael Zarnowski also co-wrote the story. But I think he's the best thing that could have happened to this film because
agree.
A Quiet Place Day 1 has no business being as good as it is. You know, because it was just
agree.
because when I first heard about it, I thought it was going to be just like a franchise cash grab. You know, as most people think. But I think
Yeah.
Michael Zarnowski.
What it turned into.
Right.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That this movie is
yeah.
better than it should be.
Cinema.
I think Marco Zarnowski, being such a good filmmaker, really, I like the approach he took with this movie because this could have been a fucking CGI explosion gore fest, right? For all
Didn't
we
I was
know.
gonna
But
argue for that.
Oh
Didn't
wait,
he
Exactly.
direct
it was.
Pig?
shut up. But I think I
Didn't
really
he
like
direct?
the
Didn't he direct
directed
Pig
Pig,
in
yeah.
2021?
Oh, and Nick
phenomenal
Cage?
movie. Yeah,
Has been.
I love that film.
Has been.
It's actually really good.
great
Yeah.
movie. That's the same
what a
director.
fall from grace.
Nah, see, I just thought that it was I was expecting to be scared. I was expecting a horror movie.
Pussy.
That's not what I got.
Pussy.
Nah, man, I
Yeah.
wanted to
You're gonna cry
No,
during
listen,
this, but I think
listen, I wanted to be scared. I was like, I want to be able to feel I want to piss straight down my legs, scared as hell, terrified. And guess what? I wasn't terrified because I'm a real nigga. But that movie was not scary at
I
all.
can confirm.
It was a good character study though. It was a good character focused story following Sam, played by Lupita Nyong'o, and
got her name.
that British nigga, what's his name? Joseph
Oh
Quinn,
shit!
played by
Ass.
or Eric played by Joseph Quinn. My British
Shit it.
I'm not gonna call him my goat, but he's somewhere in there.
Joe Shit Quinn. Joe Shit
Eddie
Quinn.
Munson. Now, mind you, Eddie Munson or wherever the fuck
Alex
Joseph
Wolf.
Joseph
Eddie
Quinn
Munson, Joseph Quinn.
has the chance to prove me wrong with Gladiator 2. I don't know if he will. We'll see. And of
He'll be
course,
in the
we
movie.
got
As
the
someone
upcoming what's it called? Fantastic Four in 2026. We will see about that.
That's
but right
never
now,
happening.
I think after this movie, I'm a little on the Joseph Quinn train, just a hair.
Agreed.
That's crazy.
Just a
Agreed.
hair.
Y'all
As
saw
someone-
this and was like, y'all were like, yeah.
Well, look,
He's got it.
I still don't think he suits Johnny Storm. I can't see it. I don't think
Mhm.
he's charismatic or
he's
sexy
sexless.
or attractive enough. Yeah, I think he's a kind of like a
No
devoid
Riz.
of charisma
No riz.
or sexuality, which is just
We
my
like to
personal opinion.
objectify here,
Exactly.
especially
Even
men.
especially men. Exactly.
especially.
But I don't think he's a bad actor. I think A Quiet Place Day One proved to me that he does have the acting chops to be on screen with Eben Moss backcrack, CGI, fucking The Thing, Vanessa Kirby,
him
and
just
Ben
quietly
Stiller.
fucking standing
Cousin.
behind someone who's like, oh yeah, he's got it. He's just like,
He's gonna be saying cousin the whole time.
He was
too.
good. He was
he was not
acting.
good. Oh,
Okay.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Or maybe
okay.
it was just a bad. I didn't like his character. I thought he was
Yeah.
fucking-
Well,
I
he's
was-
not, he's
I'm
not
right.
well
That's
He said,
fair.
hey,
developed.
leave,
fair.
go over there. He's like, come over here, come over there. No, you stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah,
He
it's
just
not the
kinda-
best written story. It's not the
It
most
wasn't
developed
good. It
character.
wasn't well written at all. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm also on the hater train with Gerardo here. I didn't. I watched maybe like I had like maybe like 40% of this movie left and I fell asleep. Like I
Damn.
just wasn't entertained or grabbed because I feel like when A Quiet Place first came out, right, and it was just the thing itself. I felt like that standalone was really good. They came out with the second one. I was like, pretty
they're
okay,
milking
but
it,
diminishing
it's
returns.
Still okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then when they announced all of this other shit, I'm like, why are you trying to franchise this? There's not really much you can really do with this IP. Like, okay,
Make it
don't
make
make
money.
noise. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. Like, it doesn't really feel like it leads to anything. And we don't really see like any like major maulings or, you know, I'm not saying like it should have been a CGI gore fest, but if we showed like more ferocity to the it's still a stupid fucking
variety.
name.
Variety.
The Death Angels.
That was my main
There's a
complaint.
Yeah.
There's a
My
variety
main
critic
complaint was
called
the
Peter.
fact that
There's a variety
go-
critic called Peter DeBruge who criticized the fact that most of the film was tiptoeing through a mostly off-screen apocalypse. So
Yeah.
there are people
Yeah.
who feel the same
And
way
I-
as you guys do.
I also
that is
was
how,
thinking like
this was marketed as a horror film. This is
Yeah.
marketed as a post-apocalyptic
No such
horror
thing as a
film.
fucking
And every time
PG-13 horror
the
film.
jump scares was very fucking predictable. They
It
were not
really
even
was.
scary. I was
That's
expecting
why
to
I
throw
watched
my
it.
popcorn, and I had my popcorn. I ate the whole fucking bag because I was not scared at all. That shit was not scary. The motherfuckers would come out and they'd be doing their little echolocation shit, and I was like, okay, this is not terrifying. They tore up that fucking nerd. So I was like,
And-
aw, that's too bad.
and it's
Moved on. There's nothing good going on with the demon monsters or whatever you want
Yeah.
to call them.
It
So
has-
that's
it
just
has-
my 2 cents.
it's not even it's more of a thriller almost because it's just like
It's a
tension
drama.
and then a jump scare. It doesn't
If
feel
Said
If
dog
that.
shit
if that if that
that.
because for some reason like it became very repetitive and very annoying to
Mhm.
see the Death Angels on screen, and they would always have someone
No.
die the exact same way. They're on screen, and then all of a sudden, the Death Angel fucking whooshes them off screen like a
Just
Dragon
whoosh them
Ball
off,
Z
yeah.
teleport animation, and then they're just fucking gone. And you don't see any of the brutality or the carnage or anything. It's so predictable. If all of the carnage is off screen, you leave that to my imagination, but what's on screen is already not enough to grab me and I'm not immersed. So why would I even bother imagining in the first place? Why am I doing your work for you as the filmmaker? That's
Because they want
boring
to
as
get the
shit.
kids in this movie so they can be loud as fuck in the theater and
Okay.
fucking laugh during
There's
the
plenty
goddamn
of
movie.
PG-13.
Fuck.
There's plenty of, but you gotta
Whose
realize,
goddamn kids are in
with-
A Quiet
oh
Place
my
day
God.
one?
with
That shit
horror,
gonna be
it's
a loud place.
Some
with
Mexican
loud
horror,
ass.
it's a
Shout out
broad
my-
enough
my
genre
Mirasa.
to where it's a broad enough genre to where you can tiptoe around certain lines, right? You don't have to show a complete mauling or whatever, but the Leprechaun movies are fucking PG-13, and there's literally a part where a dude gets a dude's face eaten off. Like, there's crazy shit that happens in those, and it's horrifying, but at the same time, it's still PG-13 because they don't go overboard with it. They're not going full Rob Zombie or anything, you know? I just feel like
Nah,
it lacks in that department.
I think
the only-
they should have gone full send, made this shit as gory and scary as possible.
1000%.
In the
That's
sense
so
of
interesting.
in the sense of that, like these are some demons that work off of if it's too loud, we're gonna fuck you up. You know how many fucking noises are in New York City,
So many.
bro?
They
everybody-
mention it at the beginning.
Exactly. Everybody
They
should be
mention
getting
it, and then what do they
fucked up.
do with it?
That's
Nothing.
not the point of the movie. That's what I'm saying. So as the only defender of A
fuck.
Quiet Place Day One,
Yeah, the
let me
only
say some
dumbass.
good, let me
Go
say
ahead.
some positive things about the movie and some good things, because I get what you guys are saying, and I think they're valid points. I understand the whole. This should be more violent. It should have focused more on it should be scary. It should focus more on the aliens, whatever. But I really like the approach Michael Zarnowski and took about making it a character drama. The story in the movie, it's not about the Death Angels, and it's not about the end of the world. It's about Lupita Nyong'o's character coming to terms with the fact that she is going to die, and coming to terms with her mortality, and about how when taking control over the very few aspects of your life that you can whenever you're a terminally ill cancer patient in hospice, and about finding kind of like the beautiful things in life amidst these atrocities, except instead of it being an allegorical, instead of it being allegorical in that sense, it's quite literal. It's the end of the world. There's these aliens that will kill you, and it's her coming to grips and coming to terms with her humanity in her and her mortality, and taking matters into her own hands. And I think she's so good in this movie, and I think she's such a fantastic and phenomenal actress that I just bought in, and when I bought in, I thought her journey was beautiful. I thought her relationship with Eric and Joseph Quinn's character, despite him not being wonderfully written, I think that there are moments of connection and the moments of humanity and the moments that they bonded and kind of connected with each other. I thought that was very beautiful, and I thought that was very powerful. I know AZ didn't get through the whole movie, but there's this scene when they finally get to a jazz bar that her father took her to when she was a kid, and they're kind of reminiscing, and he does like a magic trick, and it's like this very beautiful human moment, amongst the kind of this apocalypse. And I don't know, that's the beauty of cinema, right? That some things work for some people and some things don't. And some things don't. And you guys expected and wanted something completely different from this movie. And I think I kind of went into it not expecting much. I expected to hate it, and then came out of it really surprised because I liked the different direction in which they took this movie. I think if they would have made it a lot more like an action blockbuster and just made it scarier, and we got a lot more aliens and we saw a lot more people die, I think it would have felt to me a lot more paint by numbers, a lot more repetitive, a lot more boring, because it's like, yeah, that's what else? I mean, but there's nothing interesting here. You're not telling me anything. You're not saying anything. And I think that final shot of the movie of Lupita Nyong'o's character, I thought was beautiful and powerful and incredibly moving. And I don't know, I just bought in and I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I really understand you guys' criticism, and I think they're incredibly valid, but I just wanted to voice, kind of some of the many things that I thought really.
Your argument's falling apart, just how your phone's falling to the floor. That last shot.
My argument's falling apart?
That last shot was ass.
No,
But
it wasn't.
I will
No,
say
it was not good.
Before we let the dissenting
It's
opinion,
it's the literal
I'm gonna-
encapsulation of her coming to terms with her mortality
But,
and having
okay.
a choice over when and how she dies.
but
I'm gonna,
let me
I'm gonna
just point this out,
piggyback.
Luis,
Go
just
for
real
it.
quick. All right.
Mhm.
So to counteract Luis's point just a little bit, right?
Mhm,
It's not necessarily to make it more gory or like an action blockbuster, like this whole thing, right? Because
Mhm.
to begin with, I feel like the IP of A Quiet Place is very weak itself, right? I feel like it's not super groundbreaking. You know,
Yeah,
it's
they've
not
milked
super
it.
major.
Yeah, yeah.
They've milked
The
it.
fact
They've
that there's
milked it. You know,
3
they kind of
movies
ran
is
it into
kinda
the ground a
crazy.
little bit.
Yeah.
But I will say, you know, it is nice. There are plenty of great character moments and everything. And that's really good. But at the same time, the way that they marketed this movie, I think, is majorly a detriment to
Sure.
you know, how our reception is of it. And also, when you look at films that have come out within like the past 5 or 6 years that are character-driven horror, whether you have like Evil Dead Rise or you even have things like Hereditary, right? Those or Midsummer, right? I'm kind of milking the Ari Aster train a little bit, but there's ways to do character-driven, but also still genuinely horrifying things, even without doing a whole bunch of gore and crazy shit. Hereditary is excellent about that, with building tension and everything. And I feel like with the premise of monsters that respond to sound, to even like the smallest decibel increase, right, and can be stalking you around every corner, that should be terrifying.
It's about intention, though. I don't think Michael Zarnowski he wanted to make a character-driven story. This is the story he wanted to make, was a story about Lupita Nyong'o's character dealing with her mortality. That's what he wanted to make. He got the opportunity to make it in a Quiet Place universe, and was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna get funding for this movie I want to make. Let me set it in a Quiet Place universe and work around it. And I get what and it's just like, it is what it is. Like, this is the movie we got. We can sit here and theorize about what he should have done, what he could have done, what he wanted to do, and it's just like either you buy it or you don't. But
that's what I wanted to piggyback off of. Like I said earlier, I do think that it should have been more scary. There should have been more things to kind of add to that horror element. However, I did like that it was very character focused in terms of following Sam, Lupita Nyong'o's character's arc from the beginning of the movie. She's kind of like, I'm fucking dying. This is some shit. Blah, blah, blah. And she goes through this whole movie like, I'm just trying to get this pizza to try and, reminisce on the good of life, reminisce on my happy moments prior to getting sick, prior to when my father was alive. Mm-hmm. And then she gets to a point where she's like, okay, look, I'm clearly going to die. It's over. Let me let this new British motherfucker get some life to live afterwards. She chooses how she decides to go out. She doesn't let cancer take her out. She chooses when it's her time to go. And exactly. I like that storyline, that arc that we went through over the course of the 1 hour and 40 minutes worth of movie.
On her terms, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was very cool seeing. That's why I'm like, I like Joseph Quinn. I'm starting to like him a lot. Mind you, I haven't seen whatever that shit's called, Stranger Things,
and I won't.
I don't think I will. But this is my first introduction to Joseph Quinn, and watching him act in this movie, if what he did here is any indication to what he can do, and if he acts his ass off in Gladiator 2, I have no problem with him being Johnny Storm. However, like I said, I've only seen him in this one thing. I can't judge him off of one performance when he could be completely ass in the next one. Yeah. But that being said, he did do what he needed to do in this movie. He played a very not meek and mild mild-mannered Eric, law student, who kind of grows into his own towards the end of the film, becomes I won't say he's brave or anything, but she does kind of give him some, hey, you need to keep pushing on. He was over here like, let me follow you to the pizza shop and keep doing whatever the fuck. She's like, no, you need to go on. You need to go ahead and go live your life. That's why she sacrificed herself, let him go get to the boat, all that. I'm like, I want to see where they play off of that, because this is clearly going to lead into a sequel of its own.
Yeah.
Before leading up to the original Quiet Place.
Day 40 or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. It wants to be 20 days later.
Game.
Exactly. That's exactly that. Yes. It's going to be like A Quiet Place Year 2, some shit like that.
That's kind of
bullshit.
sick. That's a cool title.
Quiet Place.
It's cool.
This year too.
Hey, if they make that, they better give us our royalties on
It's gonna
God.
be A Quiet Place X instead
A
of
Quiet
10,
Place.
like 10 years later.
Quiet Place. 5 minutes from the last.
A quiet place in the like the U or the I is gonna be the X.
Actually, it should be Quiet
Wait.
Places.
Actually,
And we go somewhere
wait.
around the world.
There
That's
is-
not.
there is
You're
one
going the
thing that I
Walking
did-
Dead
I
route.
did- there is one thing I would have liked to see. I would have liked to see, them figure out how the sound thing works.
No,
I would have.
that's why
What do you mean
that's why
figure
they're
out?
leaving.
They
That's
hear
why
it,
they're
they
leaving it.
kill it. That's
No,
all
he
they
means the
need.
That's-
humans.
no.
He means the
Yeah.
humans come to terms
they
with the
kill
fact
it.
that they realize, they're using
Because it
echolocation
feels
to
like
kill
it
everybody.
just jumped a
did.
little bit.
I feel like they noticed pretty quick.
That's because Ape's smarter than Ape.
He's saying we should have been like there should have been like a
Oh, they
discussion
should
where
have
they're
come
like,
to that
they
realization.
should have
Yeah,
come to that
no
Yeah,
realization.
yeah. I
black
feel
out.
like
No one
King
was like,
that would have tied this together a little bit. Maybe I don't know. That's just
That's
something
because
for
the
me.
knowers
You gotta
who
wait for
know,
the sequel.
They didn't want to
That's
give
'cause
Jaimin
the
Hunsu too
knowers-
much to do.
the knowers who know, bro.
He just had
The
to fucking
knowers
kill
who
some
know.
guy
Why do they
in
keep
front of his
putting
son.
Jamil Hansu in things for like
Speaking-
5
Because
minutes?
he's a great actor.
He's a
Stop.
great
No,
actor.
for like
Get that
5
bag,
minutes though.
Gino.
They
Get
need
that
more
bag.
Jamil.
Okay.
He was
They need
he
more.
was the connecting tissue. He's in the
From
second
the
one.
second one, exactly.
but
That's what-
barely connecting. It's just like, oh, he's there.
Yeah, I know, but you know.
Speaking of knowers who know, let's talk about our ratings for A Quiet Place Day 1. AZ, what you got? What's your rating, AZ? What you got?
You're like a 6.9.
All right, I'll take it.
I thought it was gonna be like just cash grabby and stupid. And for what I did watch, it's pretty cool. I guess I think my favorite scene was really whenever there was like that whole crowd of people just very silently and eerily walking through New York, and I was just waiting. I was like, who's gonna fuck this up? Someone's gonna fuck this up. I don't know how. I don't know who. And then when everything started going to shit, and niggas just started fucking putting the goddamn burners on. They just said, I don't care who is behind me. They started stomping out a woman with cancer, just fucking trampling over her. Like, I was like, damn, no one gonna pick up Lupita? Nobody? Just gonna leave my baby girl on the ground like this? But outside of that, I just felt like overall it was very lackluster. It was marketed to me as one thing and I got another. And I just feel like overall the IP isn't really anything you can majorly expand on. I think maybe the video game is going to be good. That seems like a really good mechanical thing, but the whole system of like
They're remaking Alien Isolation. Fuck
yeah,
that.
basically is what it is. Now I think about it, so yeah, never mind. Yeah, this
I think
shit's
an
dead on
isolation,
arrival.
but not good.
Okay, so yeah, never mind. I'm gonna change my nose. I just actually am tired of this shit.
Damn.
I really am.
It's
I actually had
crazy.
to think about
In
that
real time.
in real
6.5.
time. Yeah, it's a 6.5, dude. It's a
Final
6.5.
answer?
Yeah,
Final
that's
answer?
That's final answer.
All right. AZ got a 6.5. Gerardo, what you got, bro?
Fuck. I guess I gotta go. Yeah, I didn't like this movie. Like AZ said, like Luis said, but he somehow defended it because he's stupid. This movie was sold as something. He's muted. This movie was sold as something. It was sold. I thought it was gonna be more action heavy, and I don't think that's a bad thing in horror. I think horror and action go well together. I think that this movie should have been rated R. I think we should have seen more of the aliens because we've seen enough of the aliens being like fucking just off in the background, yank some guy off and like kill him. Maybe we don't know. Who fucking cares? Like it doesn't matter.
Sucking him off.
Yeah, they're doing
We should
some
see
nasty shit to him.
aliens fucking. Is that what you
We
wanted?
cut, yeah,
You sick
always. Yeah, I don't
Freaky
care.
ass niggas need to stay the ass inside.
Freaky ass fellas.
Forget fellas.
Yeah, I didn't like this movie. I thought Lupita Nyong'o was great. I thought Joseph Gwynn. I don't like him. I'm sorry. I like Eddie Munson. Stranger Things is dog shit, but I liked him. But
Yeah.
he's sexless. He's not as good an actor as Luis or Matt thinks he is. He's fucking lame. He's got a weird fucking shaped head. Why did he shave it? I don't know.
Jesus Christ. For Johnny Storm, what do you mean?
He doesn't have a shaved head. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Chris
Maybe
Evans
he does.
He has like a short crew cut in Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four. But
Yeah,
That's what we're going for?
I
That's
don't.
what we get Hickman
I don't.
run?
I don't read
If
cartoons.
we get in the
pussy.
Hickman run,
Anyway,
I
We
might
get the Hickman
have to glaze if we get in the Hickman run. Luis,
So would you give it?
what's your-
What kind
Oh,
of
yeah,
I
Gerardo,
didn't,
what's
he,
your
didn't,
rating?
he didn't even let me rate it.
Yeah.
I'll give him my letterbox score. I gave it a 2.5. So that's a 5-star, bro. That's
Jesus
mid.
Christ.
So that's a what? Give it a
That's
number.
like a 4
5.
out
I
of
said
10.
5.
That's
A
5 out of
5?
10.
It's
5.
better than I thought. Better than I thought.
Yeah, you're right. It's a 4.
It's like a 4 out of 10. Yeah, that's what I said, bro.
Fuck that movie.
So we got a
Fuck the
6.5.
director, whatever his name is.
Michael's
Make
our
some
nasty.
better shit.
6.5 from
It's my
AZ.
goat. It's my goat.
A 4 from
I'm sure you're a
Gerardo.
great person. I love you. But
Luis, what you got?
if you
What
want to make
got?
a character study, make it in a different fucking movie.
They don't fund those
Shut up,
movies.
fuck
FYI, the mid-tier drama is dead. I give it an 8. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I had a really good time.
Shit.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was moving. I thought it worked. I thought it was really good. Like A Quiet Place. Much like AZ said, it's got no fucking juice as a franchise. This shit should not work. I like that they're taking risks. I like that they're picking interesting filmmakers to make these movies. I like that it wasn't an alien invasion movie. It was instead a character study, like I talked about mortality and life and etc. I thought those choices were very brave, and I thought they were very interesting. And I think that fuck y'all don't know ball, bro. Y'all don't know cinema. And I think that those are very interesting, brave choices. And like I said, this movie should not be as good as it is. Very competently well made, wonderfully directed, beautifully acted. And I think it works. Emotionally, it worked. I thought. I think it's a very solid movie, especially in a year when we don't have lots of really good movies. So yeah, it's an 8.
That's interesting. You're probably the highest rated of this movie for the entire podcast. Because I gave it about a 7.5 to an 8. I'll keep it at 7.5 because, like I said, I am not the biggest horror movie fan. You
were talking mad shit for somebody who gave it half a point less than I did.
Hey, let me explain. Let me elaborate. It's a good story. It is a very good story. It's a well-written, character-driven story. There are elements of a horror film that are missing, and that's what I was expecting, and that's why I was expecting from A Quiet Place franchise. I wanted this movie. I wanted to, like I said, I want to piss down my leg. I want to throw my popcorn, scream, cry, all that shit. I was chilling. I was straight-faced. I did not care. I cared, but I did not care. I was not afraid. However, it's still a good story. It's still a very good story. It's just what it's being marketed as. The trailers and everything showed it as like, oh my God, they're getting fucked up. These little demon aliens from the sky are coming out fucking everybody up, throwing niggas in the air and fucking them up because they're making too much noise. Be quiet, shut your ass up, all that shit. And I watched this movie, I was like, oh, okay, it's whatever. But it did follow Lupita's character, Sam, very well. It followed Eric very well. They did what they had to do with the material they had, and that's why I gave it a 7. If they had added the horror elements and made it actually scary, it made me feel like I was actually in terror. Because at no point in this film did I feel like, oh my gosh, one of these characters is gonna die. I did not feel any stakes were being were high or being met. I did not feel terrified for anybody besides like some random niggas walking around New York. I was like, you niggas gonna die. Y'all gonna get fucked up because you're making noise. But that damn cat was running around. Not shit was gonna happen. Joseph Quinn, that motherfucking demon was looking at you face to face. I was like, he's gonna be fine. He's good. I did not feel anything. I want to be able to feel.
This movie had no fucking stakes, is what he's trying to say.
Yes.
It's an apocalypse movie where I feel like the world is still just there.
Exactly. I don't know if niggas feel like everything's die. I want to feel terrified. I want to feel like these motherfuckers gonna get packed up, and I was like, they're not gonna get packed up, so it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting packed up, a motherfucker getting packed up right now by the group chat. Yorgos Lanthimos, bro, you're 0 for 2 right now, brother. What the hell going on, brother? So we went from
crazy.
He made a good movie in like 8 years.
From Poor Things.
Shut the fuck up. Yes, he
quote unquote Oscar alleged Oscar winner. Alleged fucking Oscar.
It's not alleged. It won Oscars.
Did he win? Did he win? That's what I thought.
Donald Trump won the electoral vote, but Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. And guess what? I don't give a fuck. That shit mean the same thing to me. Yorgos Lanthimos, bitch ass. Sorry, Yorgos.
Whoa,
We like
that's
you.
Crazy. I love Yorgos.
We like you.
I'm the
We like
only
you,
defender
Yorgos.
in this bitch.
That movie, Poor Things, was ass, and then I haven't even seen Kinds of Kindness yet because they're too busy playing fucking not Kinds of Kindness at my theater because they know that shit not good.
It is
know that
good.
shit's
I'm
gonna
gonna be
flop.
Great.
Fuck
It's
that
great.
movie.
But I wanted to
I-
let Luis get some time to defend his
No,
boy.
let Gerardo go because I'm really curious to see why he didn't like it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then
Gerardo,
I'll
go
Why you
ahead.
putting me on the fucking spot,
Hater
bitch?
shit.
You're
Hater
a
shit.
Be on your
foul
hater
for that.
shit,
You're
bitch.
gay.
Don't be on your gator shit. On your gator shit, on your hater shit. My bad.
Yeah, on my gator shit.
My bad,
On my gator shit every day.
Yeah, gay hater shit.
Pride Month was 3 days ago, bro.
That's right. It's over.
It's illegal to be gay again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's
So
factual.
what didn't I like?
Yeah, why'd you dislike this movie so much? Because you said it's you say what you were saying in the group chat. Bitch.
I said it's a
Speak up, say
crock
what
of
you
dog shit is what I said.
said.
That's what I said.
That
You want
is
me
what
to
you
say
said.
that? I'll say it. I don't
Yeah, all
care.
right. Now why?
Why?
Mhm.
It was too fucking long. I didn't know it was gonna be 3 dog shit fucking Black Mirror episodes. Okay. It wasn't marketed as 3 fucking stories. Okay.
Yeah, it was. You couldn't tell by the title. Media
no,
literacy's
fuck you.
fucking dead. The same title
Yeah,
repeated
see,
3
let me-
times in different colors.
Wow. Okay.
Open the
okay.
fucking schools,
Fuck you.
bitch.
My fucking goat.
Movie's back because I'm stupid.
Movie back because I
Movie
can't
back
read.
because
Fuck
I'm
you,
stupid.
bitch.
Anyways, all right. You didn't know it was gonna be an
I don't even want to
anthology
go
movie.
anymore, man.
Cooked his ass. It's done.
Nah, bro, it's fucked
Yes,
up.
you
It was
All
an
right.
anthology
Lemon.
movie. No, I get
That
it.
was-
That's a very it can put a lot of people off when they find out that it's an anthology. Anthology movies tend to not work. But continue.
Yeah, just like this one, it didn't work. Also, can we talk about what was up with the like? I'm assuming they were purposefully bad. They were just random
Actors
characters
that
who-
were really bad.
really fucking dog shit for
Yeah.
no reason.
Yeah. I thought about
That
that.
took me out. I thought
I
that
was
was
thinking about it. I was thinking about that too. The first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know. And then it happened again with the police chief in the second story, and I was like, I see what he's doing.
yeah.
It
What's
felt
he doing?
So it felt like Yorgos was. It felt like those characters. He put them there on purpose, and he picked bad actors to do it because it kind of gives it kind of like this kind of like dreamlike feeling. Like throughout the whole movie, you feel like you're like, is this set in our reality?
Yeah,
is it
real
not?
or not?
Is it real?
Uh-huh.
Is it
I get
not
what you're
real?
saying.
There's aspects of it that seem like they're grounded in reality, and there's some. It's like a realistic fantasy, right? You're just like there's magical realism is what it's called, right?
Mhm.
You're like is it or is it not? And I feel like those characters and those actors are incredibly jarring on purpose because it kind of it gives
But
you
what
this
does that
feeling
add to it? Like I feel like it took me out more than like I was like,
Sure.
oh, this is
Yeah.
like this is
I'm-
surrealism.
Luis,
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
gonna lie,
surrealism.
dude.
Yeah,
That-
like
that-
it,
that-
I was like, I was vibing with everyone else because as much as I didn't like this movie, I thought the performances from like our main cast were fucking great. Jesse Plemons is always incredible. Emma Stone may have redeemed herself from Poor
Evil
Things. I hated
Matt
that movie.
Damon.
I think she was really good in this.
Mhm.
But
I like Poor Things.
like, and Willem Dafoe is always fucking cooks, right?
Uh-huh.
It's a
like,
fun movie.
See,
I didn't
he
think
said I like Poor
Yeah,
Things.
he's on the
Like,
wrong side of
fun.
history.
yeah, AZ is stupid. I feel like
Not
that took
good.
me out, and I was like, why is he putting this in? It diminishes the quality for me
Mhm.
personally. I was like, this is making the movie feel worse because I already
Yeah.
didn't like it. I didn't like the stories, and I like the actor, but I was like, what the fuck is going on with these performances? I was like, because I knew it was on purpose. 'Cause I know Yorgos. I
Mhm.
love The Lobster. I'd never watched The Favorite, and I dislike Poor Things, but I know that he gets good performances out of his actors.
Yeah.
So I was like, why is this happening? I just think it's too. Is it fair to say it's too weird for me?
Sure. Yes.
It's too
that's
weird for
very
me.
fair. Very
And
fair.
I
Too
think I
weird.
was like he's leaning into this a lot,
Mhm.
and it's just not for me.
Freaky ass nigga.
I miss 2017 Yorgos, man. What happened?
His literal first
What did he make that you
film,
liked?
I
The
love The
Lobster.
Lobster. I love The Lobster.
His
I
first
fucking
film
love The
was
That
a
makes
Lobster.
sex
sense.
comedy.
No,
This
no.
motherfucker is
And
a
Killing of the
freaky
Sacred
nigga.
Deer, which
Amazing.
which
That's magical
Oh, he made
realism
that.
as
I
well.
know it's and it's super weird, but everyone's good. There's no one
Mhm.
purposefully shitty,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right?
Isn't that Colin Farrell in that motherfucker? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Colin
yeah.
Farrell, Barry Keoghan. It's a great
My
movie.
goat.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Basically,
It's amazing.
I
basically,
was just like, what is going on with him?
that
What
one
is?
Irish movie?
Yeah, I was like, what is he trying to do here? And maybe I didn't understand.
Sure.
I like some of the stories. I think the first story, which is the
RMF, the death of RMF.
death of RMF, which is the rich man controlling that guy's life. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great premise. I really liked, and I'm gonna say this again. It felt like a Black Mirror episode, which is what I feel like he wanted to make. I was like, it's something strange, like you said, surrealism. It's cool.
Yeah,
But then he lost me in the second one. I didn't fucking get it.
that's my favorite one.
That I hated it.
Mm.
I fucking hated it.
The second one, I don't even know what that means
This-
because I haven't seen it
The
yet.
flight of RMF, and then the third
Flight
one is
of
RMF.
Is that when? Is that
Some
when
lady
she was getting
ate
when
her
she was
fucking
getting
co-workers.
penetrated by the cop?
What?
Yes.
That's the second
What?
one.
That's a
Anyway,
pretty small part of the story, I
It's
think. But
very
yes.
small. Okay.
Yorgos a
That's fine.
freaky nigga, bro.
Okay,
I'm
is
not
that-
gonna
Yeah.
lie.
is that it?
I'm gonna
Is
be
that it?
honest. I've,
Yorgos be
I've,
throwing sex wherever he
Hold
can.
on.
That's a
What are you
freaky
gonna say?
I think
ass
he
nigga.
does it, and that's what I was gonna say too. I think it's more for
Supposed to be
shock value than
transgressive.
anything.
Yeah, it's supposed to be transgressive.
Yeah, and
I
I just think it. I don't think it lands. I'm like, okay, I get it. It's sex. I'm like, dude, this looks like something you could get on redacted
think-
site. You know, it's like
Honestly,
whatever. Who cares?
Right.
You're not
Redacted.
showing someone. You're not showing
Oh,
something that people
Jesus.
haven't seen. It's
True.
not as transgressive as I feel like he thinks it is.
Right.
Mm.
I don't think it adds anything to the story. I think he uses it just like, oh look at this. It's crazy. Like,
Just don't get her
not-
cheeks clapped. Right. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, shocking.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You
we
did that
saw
in your
that.
last
We
movie,
saw
dude.
that
What are you
for
doing?
3 hours in the last fucking movie.
Yeah.
I did not care, bro.
I did.
Enough.
I did.
We
I
get
cared. I cared.
We fucking get it.
I
We're
cared.
Cut the
Crazy.
cameras.
I cared.
And then the third story, I like
AZ,
a little more.
AZ,
the
the hype
cult
man
one.
of this.
I think that was great.
of
I think
Yorgos.
Willem Dafoe, and also shout out Hong Chow.
Amazing.
Great in every
Underutilized.
role that she
Right,
played
goat.
in this movie. Great in every
Mhm.
role she's ever in. Shout out Watchmen. Rewatching it right now, fucking incredible.
No, put it on. I'm about to put that shit on.
Yeah, put that shit on, dude. It's great.
In the
but yeah,
menu. My
I
God.
Okay.
think this movie
The
was
menu's
just
so
very
good.
middling for me. I just like there was so
Yeah,
much I liked.
sure.
There was so much I fucking abhorred, and I'm like, Yorgos, what are you doing? Help me
Yeah.
understand you, please. I think my problem at the like deepest level is I don't understand, and maybe that's my fault. But I'm
Mhm.
just, I don't know what's happening.
Sure,
I don't
sure,
know what
sure.
he's trying to say, and I don't think that 3 stories is enough to truly. I felt like any one of these stories could have been its own movie, and I
Yeah.
would have been more. I would have been more
Totally.
interested. I would have been more. What's the fucking word? When you're
Invested.
Dialed in.
invested.
Invested.
Yeah, I was like,
Locked in.
locked in, more locked,
Locked
in. Just
in.
like I was like, okay, well, when's this one gonna fucking end? Because I know that there's another one, and
Mhm.
I wasn't prepared for that, and it kind of pissed me because I was expecting one story, and maybe media literacy, 3 titles, whatever the fuck, but man, I'm just disappointed, and in myself and in Yorgos, I'm like, I want to know what
Fair.
you're trying to say,
Fair.
and it's really frustrating that I didn't like it because I love Yorgos,
hmm
and I haven't liked his last 2 movies, and I
It's
think
tough.
that sucks. I think
Yeah.
that sucks because
Yeah.
that's, to me, it's not a director failing, but it's like a director falling from my personal
Not
grace.
succeeding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit,
He's not
that
failing, but
sucks,
he's not
but
succeeding.
I want to love
Yeah.
him again.
2 movies that not a bad director make, though.
Of course,
Okay.
but Weird does not a good movie make either.
So-
what are we doing?
Any time that we talk about a movie that I didn't see or just didn't know about,
Uh-huh.
I try to put myself in the shoes of like whoever's reviewing it is like trying to sell me on the movie,
Mhm.
right?
That was not a sell, so
And-
don't.
and I'm gonna be
that's the
honest.
It's at least
anti-sell.
sells
I'm gonna
That's
be
the
honest.
anti-sell. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of trying to hear both sides, but the moment
Well, I haven't
Maybe
spoken
you-
yet.
no, but there was one point you made that just lost me. That just
Which was?
absolutely lost me. That I felt like was a Space Jam level reach. Right? You patched in the Cerebro link you have to like every single director on the planet.
What was it?
See
What
their
was it?
vision, and you were like, I feel like the decision he did was to put the bad actors in the movie intentionally in order to.
It was.
No,
was
it-
on
it was
purpose.
definitely
It is on
intentional.
purpose.
That was the
There's
reason.
no way it wasn't on
Yorgos
purpose.
Lanthimos didn't
But my
cast bad
question is
actors.
why?
Why did he do it?
Yeah, that's
He
my
didn't.
question.
He didn't cast bad. He doesn't cast bad actors.
Go watch The Lobster. Go watch The Favorite. Go watch Killing
I've
of a
seen The
Sacred Deer.
Lobster.
He doesn't.
He cast them on purpose. The
Yeah.
question is why, and whether that
Mhm.
works for you or not, whether his intention
Whether it
It
came
was
works at all.
across or not. Yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't me
Spooky-ass
reaching.
movie.
That wasn't me reaching. That was legit.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah, it
I'll
was
The
defend
audience
there on
is
I'll-
purpose.
smoking.
I
This
just
shit
don't
got
know
I'll
a
give
2-star right now.
I'll give
Niggas
my
do not
review.
like
Check out
it.
two-
I'll give you my review of the movie, and I'll,
All right,
I'll
go
make it
for it.
quick, just because
Go for it.
I thought I
Laser.
I loved it. I thought it was
Yep.
great. I thought it was
Laser.
amazing. I thought it was amazing. I thought
3.5 stars.
I think yeah, it's great. That's the same thing I gave A Quiet Place. I think
Rating.
Motherfucker. No.
listen, I think I really liked the fact that it was an anthology film, and I liked the fact that the three stories, although individual, were interconnected slightly, and kind of RMF is the one motherfucker that interconnects all three stories.
How?
He's in all three of them. He's the guy who dies in the first one.
They're all in all three
He's
of
the,
them.
exactly, but that
How do you know it's
character-
the same character?
because he's the one who gets revived at the end, and he's wearing his little RMF shirt that has a blue RMF while he's eating a sandwich in the post-credit scene. So it's the
I
same
didn't stay for
character.
a post-credit.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. So I like that there's three different stories that all deal with themes that are not interconnected to one another, yet there are aspects of each story that lock them all together. I also like the fact that each main character and each cast member plays a different character in each one of these scenes and each one of these stories, and it really showcases their acting talent, because they're all in the same movie, right? They're all in Kinds of Kindness, so they have to play that overall tone and theme, and play for Yorgos, who is a strange motherfucker. So you know that he's got very what's it called? Unique idiosyncrasies, right? So matching him,
Yeah, we
being
know
on
what
his
that means.
matching on his level.
A sick nigga.
Matching on his level is very hard, but the fact that you get to do that 3 times over with 3 different
Freaky ass
stories,
nigga.
with 3 different characters is amazing. And I think it was an acting showcase for Jesse Plemons specifically, who I think was in his motherfucking bag. He gave us 3 different characters with all 3 different wants, 3 different needs, and 3 different driving forces. And I liked how strange it was, because like I said, it's magical realism and it's kind of surrealist in a sense. They don't explain any of the lore at all. It's like strange, and there's like alien body doubles, and then there's fucking a witch that can revive people from the dead, and it's
There's
like
a cult.
there's a
that,
cult,
like, stays on an island and
exactly
is against sex with strangers. Yeah, it's
yeah, and it's which
there's
is an
aspects of it that I
allegory.
like. I'm like, that's cool. I would have
Right.
loved that in its own
Right.
movie.
But I like how vague it is in its presentation of these things. It feels like Yorgos just had this inkling for these, like, oh, these ideas are cool. I'm just gonna tell this story and not elaborate on anything, and let the audience draw their own conclusions, kind of build their own kind of lore about these stories or these situations. And I like the fact that a filmmaker that's as well established as Yorgos is still taking risks and making things that aren't as straightforward and as cohesive as standard storytelling is, because I do think that there is a place for experimentation, both from a filmmaking perspective, but also from a storytelling perspective. I like
on
how,
Netflix, so I don't have to spend money on it.
no, I like
Hello.
I like how
This
strange,
shit gonna be
how
on
weird,
Hulu.
and how not straightforward it was. And I really do think, again, I keep saying that, but I think you just have to buy into it. Like, if you buy into the movie, if you buy into kind of what Yorgos is doing, and you're just like, yeah, I'm along for the ride, I really do think it works. And like, I just think the highs are way high. I was interested and intrigued and wanted to know more, and was very curious, and was kind of like, what is going on? And just wanted to see what would happen next. And the performances were so great that I was like, yes, Jesse, what else are you gonna do? Like, where else are you gonna take me? And I don't know. I just think, and maybe Yorgos is just the kind of filmmaker who really speaks to me. Like, I just really relate to his work, and it's just like I'm interested in a lot of the same things he is, and I just really like how his mind works. And and that's what it is. Like, that's what storytelling is, right? Either you relate and you to these stories and what the filmmakers are trying to tell, or you don't, right? And so but I really like that we had this conversation because we had two movies from two different directors in two different genres doing two totally completely different things, in which you guys all did not buy into them, and I did, and I think that's despite everything, I just think that's really awesome and really cool and really interesting, and just that's one, and it's just that, not to get too romantic, but I think that's what's the beautiful thing about filmmaking is just how different people react differently to stories. But I think it's awesome. Matt, AZ, honestly, I think y'all should watch it just to,
sure.
you know, because y'all have seen Yorgos' stuff before, y'all, and you like Poor Things, AZ, which I hated, and I love Yorgos. And I love Yorgos.
Fear was my shit.
That was my favorite movie of his.
Poor Things is doo-doo water.
Of course, but now I'm very curious to see y'all's opinions on Kinds of Kindness, because Matt hated Poor Things, I hated Poor Things, Gerardo hated Poor Things. Gerardo hated Kinds of Kindness. I loved it. AZ loved Poor Things. I'm interested to see what you would think about Kinds of Kindness, and that in and of itself is a really interesting.
We want to see if you like dog shit.
Is a really interesting, but I'm saying that in and of itself is very interesting experiment because it's interesting what interests each and every one of us about this filmmaker. You know, what was it about Poor Things that AZ liked? What was it that we hated? What is it about Kinds of Kindness that I like, that I hated, that Matt and AZ may like or dislike? You know, and I just think that's so interesting.
If I'm going to be honest, I think what really sounds like one of the biggest strengths of this film, just from what I'm hearing about it, is the Gerardo disagreed, and, you know, I think it's because he didn't know going in that there was going to be 3 stories, but I do like, you know, like a multi-part variety kind of thing going on, you know, so like everybody, you know, there's a little flavor for everybody. So like, if you don't like one, you can like the other. You know, I hate to go like full weeb on this, you know, talk about my cartoons, but you know, JoJo's is a pretty good example. You know, every single part is its own individual thing. One's like a Indiana Jones style adventure, one's like a Victorian Gothic, one's like a mobster story.
That's
you know, they're all different things, right?
Like
and I find that little, you know, variation within one overarching narrative, but also, you know, separate little stories that slightly intertwined, but also are kind of just like little anthologies that aren't really.
You know who does that better? Archer.
That's kind of cool.
Another cartoon. That's
a real cartoon.
What would you rate it, Gerardo? 1 to 10. 1 to 10.
I want to give it like a 5, 5.5, just because I think I need a rewatch.
Damn.
I need a rewatch.
And
now I know what I'm getting. I'm not surprised by the fact that it's 3 stories, and just like take in more of the actors' performances.
Let it wash over you.
Yeah, delete that fucking bullshit with those people. You and you, I'm the captain. I mean, that shit was fucking.
What part?
Stupid.
What part?
The bartender, the captain, and the third one.
Oh, the bad actor.
Yeah, the bad acting. That shit pissed me off. I was like, why is he doing this?
I told you.
I understand that this is the realism. I don't need to have purposefully bad. I don't think they're bad actors. Let me say that. I'm sure they did it on purpose.
It was on purpose, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just like, why? I want to understand what's going on in Yorgos' fucking weird Greek mind.
But I think your reaction to this film and all those kind of like choices that he I think are kind of the point. You know, I think he's kind of like,
You're giving him too much credit. Shut up.
No, I don't. I think he's that.
I'm sure he did it on purpose.
No,
he's a
and I think
he's like filmmaker.
It's gonna, and the best art is art that elicits some sort of response, whether that be positive or negative, right? If you're just like whatever about it, that's not great art. If you're like, I fucking love this, or I fucking hated this because of the choices made by the filmmaker and the people behind it, that's great art, because it's they have a vision and they have a perspective and they're making choices and they're going to stick to them, and either you love it or you hate it, and that's great art. And so that's why I think, you know, I respect it, and maybe that pays into a lot into why I like it so much, is that I think that he could have played it safe after Poor Things, right? But whatever he makes next, he could play it safe because he's got those Oscar noms. He's gonna make money.
He's gonna get funding.
He's gonna get funding. But I like the fact that he's still like, fuck it, dude. I had this weird ass fucking idea about this twin body switching, you know, kind of like cannibal kind of bullshit. I'm not gonna explain shit.
Don't care.
I'm going off of vibe, you know, and it's like, and I really respect that. But okay, 5.5. I'll give it an 8.5. 8.5 out of 10.
Jesus
I
Christ.
really fuck with it, bro. It's fucking awesome.
The
This movie
glazing.
fucks, bro. Yorgos Lanthimos, one of the best motherfuckers doing it. Yeah, man. It's just I love him and I love this movie and the real Greek freak. Not that.
Stealing my
Cooper
tweet.
bullshit.
Stealing my
The
text
with a
real
double
Greek
E.
freak.
The Greek freak.
The real Greek freak.
He a real
Giannis from
freakazoid.
Istanbul somewhere.
The freakish Greekist, bro.
Freakish Greek.
That's crazy.
That sounds like a Mad Max character.
No, it is a Mad Max character now.
Freak is Greek.
Every single time that Yorgos
Like
is named
Scrotus.
across the screen, I kept on misreading it as yogurt Latinos, and I don't know why.
That's insane.
What?
You're illiterate.
I might
That's going on
actually
Stop
be-
Twitter
watching
page.
cartoons, dude.
I
It's
just-
going on the
I've been
Twitter
watching-
page right now.
I've been
I'm
watching.
putting that shit on the Twitter page right now.
I've been watching a whole
Yogurt
bunch of fucking
Latino.
Always Sunny, and I think like Charlie Day's grammar is rubbing off on me. I think
Oh,
that's,
Yogurt,
yeah. No, yeah,
yogurt,
that'll give you a disability for
Latino.
sure.
That's crazy.
that's such a good show, dude. It's so
No,
smart.
man. Yeah, listen, watch the movie.
Always
I
Sunny the
think-
movie.
No, fuck that movie. No.
Oh.
No. Watch
It's always
Kinds of
Sunny.
Kindness. Watch Kinds of Kindness. I want to know, like Luis said, I want to know what y'all think. I
'Cause I
think
think-
my problem with this movie is I didn't understand it
Mhm.
and I wanted to desperately and I was like, fuck, what the hell? What is going on with this shit? And that sucks.
I honestly think that Poor Things is good. All right, I'll say that till the day. I
You're
die.
allowed to think that. That's okay. That's
Because-
beautiful.
'Cause,
You're allowed
like,
to be wrong, and that's
I think
that's America, baby. Let's go.
you're
USA.
allowed to choose whatever religion, even if it is wrong.
Even if it ain't the God given right one, brother. Hell yeah.
I love the fucking clip so much. But okay, I think it's just because it has the exact type of like weird humor that I have. Like, for instance, when she keeps on doing like horrible things to Mark Ruffalo's character is already a piece of shit, right? And she's like, all I did was let another man eat me out. Why are you going crazy? And he's just
Why you
like,
tripping.
and he's just like slowly unraveling. I found that fucking hilarious. I was like,
I
dude,
think that movie
This
has
is-
its
No,
pros.
bro.
It has its moments, but
Freaking Mark Ruffalo, Bella Baxter.
yeah,
Fair
Mark
enough.
Ruffalo was
He's
dog shit,
taking
bro.
my
Fuck
love.
Mark Ruffalo.
She's
I love his
taking
takes
me.
politically. He's a great guy.
yeah.
I don't think he's a good actor.
I like also his whenever he's in the hotel and she starts dancing and he's trying to like keep up with her. You can see he's like actively just like, what are you doing? Stop, please. For the love of God, I am too fat and too round to do this. And now he's like,
Just
when
like
I've
me.
vetted many women, you have the pleasure of being another one. You're welcome. I was like, dude, this guy sucks. This guy sucks
Yeah.
in the best way possible. And then, no, the very first joke that got me in this entire thing was when the doctor was like, I found her and I did the only sensible thing a man can. I cut open the womb and placed the infant's brain into the mother's brain.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, what? I'm sorry. What did you say?
That's your ghost,
That was
man.
the
That's,
joke.
that's your ghost
That was
cooking.
the joke that got me. I was like,
Also,
cooking, bro.
on
was
the
so good.
Joseph Alwyn topic, fuck that guy.
Fuck Joe Alwyn as the resident Swifty. Fuck that motherfucker. Let's go. Do
As
not
someone
let
who-
that motherfucker
As someone who
stand
hates
on
his
the set
character,
ever
fuck that
again.
guy.
That's a piece of shit. I can't stand him. He's mediocre. He's mid.
you know what I
He's-
can't
yeah, he's
stand?
really mid.
This episode being an hour long. Thank you so much for watching. Lovely ladies and gentlemen.
Nice. That's the segue, Matt.
No.
Yeah, Matt, you can learn from him.
You can learn.
That
things.
segue was about as good as Poor Things and fucking Kinds of Kindness.
You haven't seen Kinds of Kindness, bitch. Shut up.
I don't need to see that shit. If it's like Poor Things, then I am the poor thing. I don't
It's
want
not
no
like Poor
bullshit.
Things.
It's better.
Worse.
It's better than Poor Things.
Fuck out of
The
here.
only
bro.
kind of
better.
kindness I want to see is a refund of my ticket.
real.
No, for real.
Tell them. Speaking of being so
Open the
real.
schools. Open the schools.
Speaking of being so real, follow our homeboys over at Backstage OL. They got all the new Hollywood information dropping on their pages right now. Tap into the Backstage experience, expanding across the greater United States. They just opened up Orlando, and I forgot where the other location is. I know they got Phoenix and some other stuff. They got Austin in the market as well too. So tap in with them boys over there. Shout out David whenever he comes back from his parenthood sabbatical, being a father.
Yeah, with the Sinestro Corps give paid.
We give. If you want a job,
paternal
that gives you paternity leave, tap in. We be giving. David been gone for like 8 months, bro. He got paternity leave for real. So if you want to tap in and get some health benefits, sign up. We are hiring. But yeah, check in with Backstage Joel. All the I'll pay you in high fives and bottles of
cool
vodka.
vibes. You get paid in vibes, baby.
You get paid in my undying appreciation and support. So tap in with Backstage OL. Tap in with our boy Z over at twitch.tv/Tari Singo. The boy going crazy on the Twitch. Tap in with him also on YouTube at Tari Singo, on Twitter at Tari Singo. New video dropped with the Justice League. That shit is actually hilarious.
1,400 homies. So do that.
You got 1,400 homies.
Yeah.
1,400 individuals tapped in. Yeah. Subscribers tapped in. And of course, that being said, another thrilling episode is in the books, you guys. Huge thanks to everyone who tuned in today, whether you watched or listened. Keep the excitement going by following us on all platforms at Sinestro Corp, no S, so you can stay tuned with everything that we have going on this year. Remember to like and smash that subscribe button so you never miss a beat. Show us some love by leaving us a 5-star review wherever you catch this podcast. Spread the word about our podcast and YouTube channel far and wide. Share with your friends, your family, your entire network. That way we can continue to keep pumping out great content, great episodes for you guys, our fans at home. With that being said,
the kinds of kindness were the friends we made along the way.
Shut up. Oh,
you know this nigga. Play the outro.
Boo. Get him out of here.
We're the kings of the screen, yeah. Sinestro Corps, we're the dream, yeah. New episode Saturday afternoon. We in your ear, that comic book crew. More good it takes what we do. Sinestro Corps, we're the crew.